Hey, welcome back to Matt again. My name is Rampage and this is gaming news, or more or less, gaming news I suppose. Doom on PC, Bethesda promises a metric crap ton of fixes. So I don't really understand what they mean by fixes because the shit that they outline in this article doesn't really relate to fixing anything. It more or less just outlines advanced settings and what the developer feels about having more advanced settings. So anyway, I'll read what the statement is. So on the Bethesda's blog by id CTO Robert Duffy, he stated, "PC gaming is in our DNA at id. Just like so many of you, we also love to tinker with settings to get the exact experience we want and every ounce of performance our systems can handle. We will be running an uncapped frame rate on PC at launch, supporting ultra-wide 21:9 monitors, allowing wider FOV, and providing a wide variety of advanced settings that allows any PC connoisseur the opportunity to make intelligent trade-offs between visual fidelity and performance." Well, it depends on what the trade-offs are. If your game runs like garbage in general, like Rage did, then there's not really much you can do about that. If you have something like a GTX 980 Ti and you expect to run this game maxed out, and it's instead of getting 60 frames per second solid, you get like 40 or 25, then that comes down to shit optimization. But I'm not saying that the game is poorly optimized at all. I haven't played it, so I don't know how my system will take it, I suppose. But anyway, let's get into the advanced options, shall we? So manually lock frame rate, unlocked by default. Lights, quality, chromatic aberration toggle, shading, post-processing, particles, game effects, decal, directional occlusion, reflections, depth of field toggle, decal, texture filtering. Normally they're separate options. Motion blur quality toggle, so that's cool. You can turn off motion blur completely, which is great. Sharpening amount, don't like that option. I'll get into that in a second. Lens flare toggle, lens dirt toggle, no idea what that is, sounds interesting. Texture atlas size, show performance metrics, that could be cool. Resolution scaling, so I'm assuming there could be upscaling, like NVIDIA's whatever the shit it is. It's like if you have a 1080p monitor, you can play in like 4K, something like that. UI opacity, film grain, rendering mode, FOV slider, simple reticle, show first-person hands toggle. That's a bit of a weird option. I never really thought that was a thing people wanted. Use compute shaders, VSync, brackets support, or triple buffering. Normally it's either VSync and triple buffering, or what they do with Tomb Raider or Rise of the Tomb Raider or any Square Enix game where they have VSync and then it's either double buffered or triple buffered. Whatever. So there's a few things that I find a little bit contradicting here where they state post-process quality, but typically post-process quality is linked into stuff like particles, game effects, decals, depth of field, motion blur sometimes, but here they have it not linked. Sharpening. I don't know why I'm doing it like this. Shut up. Film grain sometimes. Sometimes, yeah. So, what would be really weird is if they have depth of field linked into something or like an overlay filter kind of thing, right? So what I mean by that is in Outlast, if you disable depth of field, it removes that night vision, screen thing or filter over the screen, right? It basically, that's what I did with my playthrough because I just couldn't be fucked using that green filter and I didn't like the depth of field. And no, it was either the depth of field or film grain effect that turned the night vision off. If it was film grain, that's really strange. I think it was film grain. I don't know. It's been a while. But yeah, if they have something like that where they have depth of field and you disable that, but it disables something else as well, I don't know. It's really strange. Developers do some really weird things, especially with post-processing, because to me, as I said, it's weird that they have post-processing and all these other options. So what the hell does post-processing do? Does it, help with filters on the screen or something like that? I don't know. Other than all of these other things that I mentioned, I have no idea what they're going to do with post-processing. But yeah, it's cool that they've unlocked the frame rate by default, because if you've played any other current Bethesda game, like Skyrim, fucking Fallout 3, Fallout New Vegas, or even Fallout 4, you'll notice if you unlock the frame rate, the game runs faster than it should be, which is basically because they haven't locked they locked the animations, I think, to the physics engine, which is really, really weird. But yeah, I don't know. This could be interesting. I would like to tinker with all these settings. Now, just because I have a GTX 980 doesn't mean that I can run this game completely maxed out, but I would like to be able to. And if they allow us to tinker with the engine as much as they did with Rage, because I believe this is using idTech 6? idTech 6? I think it's using idTech 6. Yeah, Doom. Yeah, okay, so it is using idTech 6. So hopefully they do allow us to use the console and, configure the stuff like we would with Rage, because in Rage, that used idTech... Was it idTech 4? No, idTech 5. Okay, so that Rage used idTech 5, right? Now, because that game performed like pure garbage, the community realized that you could tinker with a lot of the engine-based features and just basically fix the fucking game, and still have it running fine, looking fine, and even updating the textures from like 4K, I think it was, to 16K textures, which was a massive increase, and still have the game running at like 100 frames per second on my graphics card. So stuff like that can really help. So hopefully they do allow us to, change the engine features, or, just to change things in the engine, because sometimes they do have settings like detail distance and stuff like that set incredibly high, or even shadow detail incredibly high. Like, those are the things that will tank your frame rate dramatically. So hopefully we can tinker with that sort of thing, either engine side via console commands, or in-game options like they have listed here. So yeah, let me know what you think about that in the comments below. My name is Rampage. Please don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys next time after I get back from Bali. Peace out.